Recorded Books presents an unabridged recording of Where Shadows Dance, a Sebastian St mystery, by C.S. Harris, narrated by Davina Porter and directed by Megan Berrickman. The author opens with an excerpt from the poem The Six Bards by James Macpherson. The old tree groans to the blast. The falling branch resounds. The wind drives the clung thorn along the sighing grass. He shakes amid the night. Dark, dusky, howling is night, cloudy, windy, full of ghosts. The dead are abroad. My friends, receive me from the night. And now, Where Shadows Dance.
Chapter 1. Friday, the 24th of July, 1812. A cool wind gusted up, rustling the branches of the trees overhead, and bringing with it the unmistakable clatter of wooden wheels approaching over cobblestones. Standing just outside the open gate to the alley, Paul Gibson doused his lantern, his eyes straining as he peered into the fog-swirled darkness. Thick clouds bunched overhead, obscuring the moon and stars, and promising more rain. He could see nothing but high, rough stone walls and a refuse-choked muddy lane curving away into the mist. A dog barked somewhere in the night. In spite of himself, Gibson shivered. It was a dirty business, this. But until the government revised its laws on human dissection, anatomists like Gibson could either resign themselves to ignorance or meet the resurrection men in the darkest hours before dawn. Paul Gibson was not fond of ignorance. He was a slim, dark-haired man of medium height, Irish-born and in his 32nd year. Trained as a surgeon, he'd honed his skills on the battlefields of Europe, but a French cannonball that shattered the lower part of one leg had left him with recurring pain and a weakness for the sweet relief to be found in poppies. Now he shared his knowledge of anatomy by teaching at hospitals like St. Thomas's and St. Bartholomew's, as well as working out of his small surgery here at the base of Tower Hill. The dog barked again, followed this time by a man's low curse. A two-wheeled cart loomed out of the mist, the raw-boned mule between the poles snorting and jibing at the bit, when the driver drew up with a guttural, "Whoa there, you blooming idiot! Where do you think you're going? We got one more delivery to make before you can head home to your barn." A tall, skeletally thin man in striped trousers and a natty coat jumped from the cart and tipped his top hat in a flourishing bow. As he straightened, a waft of gin underlaid with the sweet scent of decay carried on the wind. "We got him for you, Doctor," said Jumping Jack Cochrane with a broad wink. "Mind you, he's not as fresh as I like me merchandise to be, but you did say you wanted this particular gentleman." Gibson peered over the cart's side at the bulky, man-sized burlap sack that lay within. Another name for the resurrection men was the Sack-em-up boys. "You're certain you've got the right one?" "It's him all right." Cochrane motioned at the sturdy lad who accompanied him. "Grab the other end there, Ben." Grunting softly, the two men slung the burlap-wrapped merchandise off the back of the cart. It landed heavily in the rank grass beside the gate. "Careful," said Gibson. Cochrane grinned, displaying long tobacco-stained teeth. "I can guarantee he didn't feel a thing, Doctor." Hefting the heavy sack between them, the two men carried the merchandise into the stone outbuilding at the base of Gibson's overgrown garden and heaved it up onto the granite slab table that stood in the centre of the room. Working quickly, they peeled away the mud-encrusted sack to reveal the limp body of a young man, his dark hair fashionably cut, his hands soft and well-manicured, as befitted a gentleman. His pale, naked flesh was liberally streaked with dirt, for the body-snatchers had stripped off his shroud and grave clothes and stuffed them back into his coffin before refilling the tomb. There was no law against carting a dead body through the streets of London, but stealing a cadaver and its grave clothes could earn a man 7 years in Botany Bay. "Sorry about the mud," said Cochrane. "We've had a mite of..."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?